From Texas to Washington, there's a lot going on. President Donald Trump is under fire for something he said while in Vietnam about North Korea's leader, Kim Jong-un. And a new report is raising questions about the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. This as everyone waits to see if Texas Democrat Beto O'Rourke will put his name in the hat for the upcoming presidential race. KXAN's Blaine Alexander has more.
The New York Times reporting President Trump last year directed his then chief of staff, John Kelly, to grant a top secret security clearance to Jared Kushner, the president's son-in-law and advisor, despite concerns raised by intelligence officials. It's something the president denied to the Times earlier this year.
I don't think I have the authority to do that. I'm not sure I do, but I wouldn't do it.
Democrats pouncing.
That is a bold-faced lie. He did do it.
The White House not commenting on security clearances, and Kushner's lawyer says they were handled in the regular process with no pressure from anyone.
The president absolutely has the authority to grant security clearances to whoever he wants, but he ought to be truthful to the American public.
It comes as House Democrats prepare to call Alan Weisselberg, the Trump Organization's chief financial officer, to testify. He was repeatedly named by the president's former attorney, Michael Cohen, as having firsthand knowledge of the president's financial dealings.
That's signed by Alan Weisselberg.
As far as Cohen is concerned, he's convicted, he's a liar.
Meanwhile, the parents of American college student Otto Warmbier slamming the president for saying he believed Kim Jong-un, who claims to have no knowledge of Otto's mistreatment while held captive in North Korea. Writing, Kim and his evil regime are responsible for Otto's death. No excuses or lavish praise can change that. The president later tweeting, "I never like being misinterpreted, but especially when it comes to Otto Warmbier. Of course, I hold North Korea responsible for Otto's mistreatment and death," pinning blame on the country, but never mentioning its leader. Blaine Alexander, NBC News, Washington.
Joining us for Perspective now is NBC News political director and moderator of Meet the Press, Chuck Todd. Thanks for being with us.
Happy to be here, Josh.
So how is the Cohen testimony impacting the White House?
Well, look, I think there's different ways it's impacted the White House. The president himself, as somebody who once worked very closely with the president, said whenever his business, whenever his family is getting attacked or what he believes undermined in the public square, when it's being in his company with his name on it is being questioned, as Michael Cohen spent 8 hours doing in the middle of this week, that it really bothers the president, and it can be almost a distraction. It becomes so bothersome to him.
Well, here at home, a lot of people are waiting to see if Beto O'Rourke is going to throw his hat in the ring for the presidential race in 2020. What are you hearing?
Well, look, everything we're hearing is it's not a matter of if he's going to run and announce, it's when is he going to do it. And we have plenty of sources who have been interviewed by people close to Beto O'Rourke for potential jobs. So it's pretty clear he's decided to jump into this thing. I have to tell you, I'm fascinated to watch what kind of Democrat does Beto O'Rourke sell himself as. Because I think he's gained popularity because he's all things to all people. Reminds me very much of Obama 07, 08, where people have projected their own beliefs onto Beto O'Rourke. Now, this very crowded field, he is going to have to start taking positions. Is he going to be more of a progressive in the Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren mold? Is he going to run more as a sort of center-left guy, and like a Joe Biden or an Amy Klobuchar? These are the things we don't know. And will his following stay with him?
And since we know he is not going to be running for Senate against Cornyn, we're hearing about the other Texan, Congressman Joaquin Castro, who's going to be doing that.
And look, I think forget whether it's, I think, generic Senate race X now. Texas, you're a battleground state. I'm not sure I'm ready to say it's a swing state, but it is now part of the competitive landscape.
And that was our Chuck Todd. You can catch him on Sunday morning right here on KXAN, and that's after State of Texas.